Hi, everybody. It's BigPapaGrump. Welcome to the Border Doom podcast. We've got Corey and Sean, or CJTruth and Junior. So yeah. Is it me, or did absolutely nothing of note happen on SmackDown?
Pat McAfee apologized.
Yeah, it was funny.
I actually am starting to like him more and more every week. Just because he's
welcome to the cult of McAfee.
I wish it was a heel,
week
but it makes no sense for Theory to be heel or face. Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, he's better as a heel, but
I think they're going to do McAfee as the face regardless. But I appreciate him more and more each week. One, his commentary is getting, with each week, it's like he's more enjoyable to listen to. I mean, he's no Excalibur, but he's definitely like, he's right there with Excalibur. You know what I mean? But I think
with McAfee.
But I'm still amazed that he's allowed to have the McAfee show.
Really?
Why wouldn't he?
One of my friends.
Well, because they don't cover. Vince won't let them have Twitch. Vince won't let them have the other stuff.
Well, yeah, but he's not. He's a commentator. Like, I would imagine that the guy who works for Raw, whose name I can never remember,
Jimmy Smith.
Yeah, like I would imagine that since his only job is the play-by-play thing, like as far as I know, he doesn't do anything else backstage. I don't see why like he wouldn't be able to have like an MMA podcast. You know what I mean? Right.
Yeah.
So it's because the commentators aren't independent contractors the same way that the wrestlers are. So and McAfee. Yeah, McAfee had his show first anyways, and he's got the deals with FanDuel, so Vince probably just looks at it like, as long as you don't talk about AEW, which every once in a while he will.
Does, yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't go in depth. But he doesn't go in depth on the WWE stuff either. Like even before the match build up, he would talk more about like plane ride or like working with Michael Cole a little bit or whatever. And by the way, I think McAfee is a national treasure, just the same way I think that KO is a Canadian treasure. But it's unfortunate that he's good, but we're never really going to know how good he is because we just know he's better than Michael Cole, and so he will always just have that bar. And so no matter how high above it he goes, it's still going to just be Michael Cole. So, but him going back and forth with Corey Graves was kind of amusing. Is like he actually kind of made Corey look like an idiot, or sound like an idiot.
Yeah, I've lost a lot. Like I don't like Corey Graves as much as I used to.
It's because now they're making it. They're doing with them the same thing that AEW is doing with Sammy and Ty. They're going to shove them down your.
I don't think it's just the Carmella stuff. Like even before they acknowledged it, my enjoyment of Corey Graves on commentary was kind of declining because they made him. He's doing when he was in NXT, he was the heel commentator, but he was kind of doing the role the same way that Wade Barrett is, where it's like, yeah, he's gonna shield for certain people, but he's kind of fair about it.
Right.
And that's what Corey was doing before, where it's like, he was giving people their due without having to say, hey, look, I'll give him all the credit in the world, because once they say that, it's like, yeah, okay, you're about to say something terrible. But like he would just talk, but he kind of leaned heel, like, he kind of favored the heel tactic stuff. And it was a little bit more subtle, not just in your face. And yes, while I do think that they're going to kind of overdo it with the because I don't mind talking about this now because we wasn't going to talk about it later. Like I don't really have too much of an issue with the Sammy and Tay Connie thing, or Ty Connie, especially considering that line yesterday with the belt. Yeah. That was pretty. That was funny. But and I don't really mind the Carmella stuff with Corey Graves because they're not it doesn't consume the entire show. You know what I mean?
Right.
So
I also want to bring up if they didn't want Sasha to have a win at WrestleMania, they could have just said so. They didn't have to add Natty and whoever
Shayna
to
Baszler.
it. Shayna to
Natty
it.
and Shayna Baszler, who must have just like found themselves. I imagine this going like they just found themselves in the same elevator at the hotel, and they're like,
I was so
"You want to be a team?"
irritated by this. They tried to make it seem because they were like, oh, Carmella and Zelina are kind of like they were thrown together, but they won. Liv and Rhea just kind of did it out of necessity. But Naomi and Sasha have been tag teaming for like 5 years. They really tried to use Team Bad to give them longevity, and I was so pissed. I texted Jesse. I was like, "Are you serious? Did they really just say they were like a tag team for 5 years?"
The other thing that about the Shayna Baszler, because I don't think they acknowledged it, but they actually do have a connection.
What, Natty and Shayna?
Yeah, Rhonda. Yeah.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
but I don't think they mentioned it.
Probably
I don't know.
not.
I didn't watch it.
Yeah, fair enough. But yeah, so really nothing of note on SmackDown other than I'm gonna steal your car door. We'll get to him later. Because I think my opinion of that topic or where he stands on that topic changed on Friday.
Dude, he really ripped off a fucking truck door.
I mean, he really pulled the truck door off of its very, very loose and already pretty much taken apart hinge.
Let's be real. He probably just ripped it off. It probably wasn't scripted like the Chamber Pod.
Yeah, but see, that's the whole thing. Is like the stuff Sammy's doing on SmackDown is great. Like Sammy's like the most entertaining thing on SmackDown most weeks.
I did like how he tweeted, or not tweeted. It was on Wrestling News. I guess it was something they covered on WWE.com or whatever, where he's been going around Knoxville. Asking people if they know Johnny. Do you know Johnny? Do you know Johnny? Does he eat here? Is Johnny here? Where's Johnny? Like, it's not for nothing. There are people who always have spoken very, very highly of Sami Zayn, El Generico, whatever. No matter what you gave the guy to do, he didn't just do it. He always made it really, really solid and put forth 100% on everything.
And that's a good segue into the other thing, because again, SmackDown was just another paint by numbers show, going right into another usually paint by numbers show on Raw. But that Kevin Owens coming out as Stone Cold thing was hilarious. The crowd reactions were great. The crowd reactions were so good. WWE posted a video of just the crowd reactions.
Right.
Hey, did you see how Taz was so mad about that too?
No, it was, but I don't think he was mad about that. I think his opinion was, "You're a fucking mark." Pardon my language. Like, which is exactly what he said. He's like, "You're a mark. Shut up. Like, don't. You have no idea what's going on."
Well, yeah, and his issue wasn't that they've done that. That they did that angle. It's just that they did that angle right after MJF had done that angle.
Well, but MJF's done it how many different times?
Oh no, it was Don Callis. It wasn't MJF. It was the Don Callis.
Yeah. But I was going to say, because MJF's done it multiple times. But yeah, it was Don Callis coming out. Don Callis and Stone Cold are two different people.
Yeah, and didn't Don Callis and MJF do that both in the same show?
Exact same. Yeah, one was on the pre-show. One was when he was wrestling Punk.
Yeah, so he should have been mad at one of those two guys. But the difference here is that you had Owens kind of going up one where he dressed up as Stone Cold. Yeah. He had his walk down. He had the corner thing good.
But have you ever noticed that he's really, really good at imitating and mocking past guys? He's really good at it. Well, yeah. I mean, so is Bret Hart.
Not as much as Kevin.
So is Owen Hart.
Posthumously.
Owen Hart's national treasure no matter what happens.
I do like Seth's new gimmick of I'm trying to steal everyone else's Mania match. That is pretty cool. I do like that.
Yeah, that was cool. I was like, I wonder who it's going to be this week.
Yeah, he's going to try to get into the women's tag match.
We all know he's getting Cody. Like I've accepted it as a reality at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it's like 75-25 whether or not Cody shows up at Mania or the Raw after Mania, but it really sounds like they're building towards Mania.
I wish he would show up this week, like Monday, because I kind of want to build and I want it to be an official pick.
Well, actually, that's one of the things I was going to say on the board was I'm going to put it on the board as Seth versus Cody, and if it's anything else, we just throw the match out.
I got you.
Well,
I figure that's the fairest way to do it.
Are we picking Stone Cold as a match, or is that just a brawl? Do you know?
They haven't.
Yeah,
there has been no confirmation that it's going to be a match, so I'm going to leave that off the board.
Okay. Yeah. That makes sense. But
did you see where Jericho all but confirmed that Cody's going WWE?
I mean, Cody all but confirmed he's going to WWE.
Yeah,
but
Jericho had it on his podcast. He was talking about it. Blah 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 blah. Says about and Cody Rhodes goes back to WWE just so he can be Cody Rhodes again. And I was like, wow, shots fired.
That would be but you know what? That would be interesting if we find out later that part of his deal was that he gets ownership of Cody Rhodes, and then when his contract's up, he just goes back to AEW as Cody Rhodes.
They do that, honestly.
Yeah, I don't know. Wishful thinking, but yeah,
he deserves the Rhodes name. How does Dustin have it, but he doesn't? I mean, AEW's done.
I was going to say Dustin never wrestled as Dustin Rhodes under WWE,
but he did under WCW, which Vince owns.
Right, but I don't think WCW was owning people's real names. Like Scott Hall was able to be Scott Hall in TNA. Kevin Nash was able to be Kevin Nash in TNA.
Right, but that's not their real name.
Thought Scott Hall was his real name.
No. Dustin's Rhodes is not the real name. It's Runnels.
No, but he was wrestling under that long before the even WCW thing. Back when it was just NWA and deals were different. They weren't gobbling up people's names. You know? So
yeah. Well, I mean, but AEW is really smart about the way they play that because they would always say Cody and Dustin Rhodes, and they would announce just like with Billy.
Yeah.
Billy and Colton and Austin Gunn. Okay, yeah, you got it. You win. That was smart.
So but yeah, so Raw was yet another boring void of nothing. You've got you know what though? I'm waiting to hear a quote from Dana Brooke about the whole Sheen thing because that still sounds better than being in a romance angle with Reggie.
Right.
Well, to be honest with you though, Bray already commented on it.
Yeah, I know Bray did, but I'm just talking about hearing Dana Brooke being like, wow, that's she won't say it, but it's like, wow, that sounds way more interesting than what I'm doing now. But at the same time, she's on TV every week, so I guess you can't complain.
You didn't like the Akira Tozawa versus Dana Brooke chicken fight thing?
Oh, where they were doing the water polo thing? Yeah.
I don't know what you guys are talking about.
That's fine. All right, yeah.
So they putting together a product that actually can get into. I'm just
actually Raw, SmackDown. It's weird because this time last year, SmackDown was 10 times better than Raw, and Raw was just freaking terrible. Now on SmackDown, once you get around, the in-ring stuff is still usually always good, unless it's Omos. But
can we talk about that?
Yeah, we'll get there in a second. Hold on.
All right.
But we'll go with that's who Cody's gonna wrestle. No, But like, you know, so the in-ring stuff's good, but like on SmackDown, the only thing really worth watching is whatever is going on with Roman, because you know, Roman's still entertaining to watch because his promos are better and I like his character, and they, you know, he's finally been, you know, he has been for a while, but they finally made him a heel and now he's interesting. And then Sami Zayn. You know, Charlotte and Ronda, boring.
I don't care at all about it.
I think it'll probably be a fun match, but you know, can we just? I just want to go a week where neither one of them has a microphone.
If Charlotte doesn't tap out Ronda at Mania, this was all worthless.
I think the whole idea was Ronda to tap out Charlotte.
Well, she already tapped on SmackDown though, so that's why I was like,
that doesn't count. It doesn't count because it didn't happen in a match.
Well, right, but I think if Ronda taps to Charlotte, that's it. Charlotte's the greatest women wrestler of all time.
I mean, I think even if Charlotte taps to Ronda, there's still a good possibility that she's the greatest woman wrestler of all time.
You can't fast forward past that. The what? The greatest wrestler of all time?
Oh, when her career's done, that she'll definitely be in that conversation.
It's the Cain Velasquez effect. Brock got his legitimate win back. He beat him in like 2 minutes. Like, so obviously, if Charlotte taps Ronda, she not only could go straight into the UFC right now, she would also. She's great, but I just don't care about this enough.
But yeah, so anyway, so there's nothing of interest on SmackDown. Raw's where all the interesting stuff's going on, and one of those things is going to be you wanted to mention Omos, or as I call him, Human Botch Machine.
Yeah, Nia Jax too.
Yeah.
If he screams out my hole, I will officially lose my mind. I will be like, oh my God, she's back.
I really think they should have kept him and AJ as a team longer because Omos was so not ready. I mean,
he's ready.
Or at least, or I don't know, maybe find somebody else because, yeah, I don't think he's ready for, I mean, it depends on what they're going to have him do.
He's the great Khali with a bigger finish or better finisher.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's more mobile than that, but he's still not quite there because, like, unfortunately, like, he has the presence, he has the look. Even when he cuts a promo, it's still like, okay, this dude sounds mean, you know. Like, so he's selling that part of it, but he's getting zero heat. He's getting nothing from the crowd because his matches all are the same 4 moves, you know, which is fine because he's supposed to be a big dominating presence. But when none of those moves except his finisher even look remotely impressive now,
yeah,
you know, it's unfortunate. Now, is there room for him to grow and get better? Absolutely. And I hope he does because, you know, I want to see everybody. But
he's taking up TV time from a guy that legit is a big man who can go in the ring, can talk on the mic, and they're giving it to Omos. You gave him a bad gimmick, and that's what killed it. But T-Bar should be in that position.
Yeah, but he's got no. See, we're looking at it from the sense of we want to. Are you planning on murdering anything in right now? Are you hear those birds in the background? You're just holding a.
I remember Revolution.
Oh, okay, but like we all know that that Dijakovic, or you know, however you want to remember him, you know, he is talented enough that he should be top of the mid card at the worst, right?
Yeah.
Right.
But we gotta look in terms of how Vince is doing it. Vince has zero faith in him, so he's not gonna get any of that time. And you can say that, you know, the terrible like Omos promo. Well, that's setting something up for WrestleMania. I don't know who exactly.
Well, there are rumors of Bobby.
Yeah, rumors of Bobby, but you know, we'll see because those could just be rumors, but we'll see.
Yeah, it depends if he's healthy.
Yeah. Or who knows, maybe Stone Cold will do double duties. But
yeah, I'm down.
But the Theory Balor match could have been longer. Any of these matches could have been a little bit longer.
Yeah.
And you're wasting time on an Omos squash match. First of all, Omos should not be squashing Commander Aziz and Apollo Crews. I don't think he should have squashed Commander Aziz because that's another big dude who you can do something with.
Oh yeah, because they've done a lot with him.
But it's something but he's someone you can do something with, and now you've completely like he not only did he lose to Omos 2 weeks in a row, the second one was with help.
Yeah, there's no reason for you to believe he should ever beat anybody.
Yeah, like Apollo Crews getting decimated by Omos in an Omos build makes sense because Apollo Crews, even though he's the better wrestler and he's the more experienced guy, just ran into a brick wall. Okay, fine. I'll buy that, and it won't affect my viewing of Apollo Crews. What are you going to do? It striptease?
No.
But it's not going to affect how I look at Apollo Crews, but it will affect how I look at Commander Aziz because that's another big dude that just got squashed by a guy who can barely pull off the moves he's supposed to be doing.
Dude, yeah. Can I quickly glance over because moving to the next night, can we just talk about the women's Dusty Classic and what that ended up doing?
Yeah, that was awful.
I think that's stupid.
I don't mind. See how I would have liked for them to have played that is that they got their title shot, whatever, but they goaded Mandy into letting them in to the or Mandy says, in order to protect the other two, that if you give up your tag title shot, I'll let you in, knowing that they're not going to be able to take the belts off them, and she's going to have a way to weasel out because it's a fatal 4-way, and now she can't get DQ'd.
Yeah, I was going to say that's the only thing I could see. It's like, okay, maybe Mandy doesn't get DQ'd, but I also looked at this initially, and I was like, if you didn't want Cora Jade to win and you want to take the belt off Mandy, you could have just said so.
I honestly think they're still going to put the belt on Cora Jade, and they're adding these two to make the match bigger.
Yeah.
So that it's more so Cora Jade overcomes like 3 other people, including an incumbent champ who has these 2 other people helping.
I do like the Home Alone Cora Jade angle though. That was fun.
her what is it? Turning the entire backstage into a Rube Goldberg machine or whatever.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. I was gonna say, besides that, I mean, Dolph Braun's gonna be good, but okay. It seems like a standard build, which is like
Walter LA Knight.
Walter should just destroy him.
He should.
I don't think so. I think if you want to book it smart, because they've done a good job about LA Knight has lost a lot of feuds.
Yeah.
He's not quite in the Bray Wyatt effect yet. He's getting there, but he's so solid in the ring that you need to let those 2 go for a while. Don't just rush it and let Walter Gunther destroy him.
Well, here's the thing is that even in matches that Walter absolutely dominates, very few of them are squashes.
I don't know who that is.
Like, he'll bump for people. Absolutely. But,
I know
like
Walter.
Big Man.
I like Walter. I like Walter. But Walter LA Knight's not wrestling Walter. He's wrestling Gunther.
Yeah. Whatever. Shut up.
I don't know what else. I was gonna say. I mean, am I allowed to be mad that Grayson Waller beat A-Kid? I know there's a last second match thing, but like I love
A-Kid.
A-Kid.
Looked so good in that match too.
I love A-Kid. I was so upset. Also, that should have been a little longer. Like 3 minutes, I think it was. Like something like short.
Yeah.
Well, that's 'cause they're still trying to build Waller up as their top heel.
Yeah, but that match could tear down like a old takeover main event type thing. And they're like,
yeah, but we're long. we're long removed from those, those
I think
matches,
AK did Dan.
those takeover matches that Butch used to be in.
Who?
But yeah,
Who?
Hey, if I gotta call him Gunther, you gotta call him Butch.
I don't know who either Gunther or Butch are. I don't know who they are.
And this is what happens when you don't watch the product that you're supposed to be brushing up on. Yeah, they renamed Pete Dunne Butch.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
and
okay.
it's terrible.
Right.
I text you and Goldie literally as soon as it happened.
I
was
ignore
like,
most of your texts.
Butch, really? That doesn't surprise me. I ignore most of my texts.
Although I did like the gift battle we were having earlier.
Yeah, that was fun.
I only joined in with mine because I was feeling left out between you and Kevin.
Well,
So, all right, but and then so all right, we'll move past NXT because other than I don't understand what's happening with the whole Persia or whatever, and I don't understand it and I don't care. I really don't. I don't care about Indy Hartwell anymore. Whatever. I could care less.
That's all you need to
what
know.
What they're building to is a Persia and Duke Hudson. Is that who she's?
Yeah.
Is that who?
That's her.
Duke, it's going to be those two versus Indy and Dexter Lumis in a freaking mixed tag match or something stupid.
Yeah, that's probably what they're going for, and I still don't care. Although here's the thing: is that and last thing I'm going to say about NXT is if they moved Kaylee Ray and Io out of the tag picture to allow to allow the sleepy girl and the crazy girl to win the tag titles, because I think Wendy Chu and Dakota Kai are surprisingly entertaining as a tag team.
Yeah, they were actually fun as hell.
So and I think if you were going to have them go after Toxic Attraction, for the tag belts, the wrong team won.
Yeah.
The way they're setting it up, then yes, the proper team won for whatever story it is you're telling. So, all right. Anybody else want to add to that, or can we move on to?
No, we're good. We can talk about Liverpool death match.
Hey. Blackpool Combat Club. Greatest name ever.
I'm just gonna call them the London Fight Club now.
I mean,
Frankfurt Fight Club.
But the opening match, I mean, even if we talk about that, like Dax and Punk, that opening match was freaking solid.
Yeah, that was fun.
And they played that. I mean, it just proved, like, I know Goldie hates freaking FTR, but you got to give credit where credit's due. That was a solid singles match.
Yes,
that was
it was.
Where even, like, yes, he's primarily a tag team wrestler. Okay, we get that. But you can't hate when you actually watch them in their matches. It's more about psychology than it is about the freaking, yes, you know what you're going to get with them. But match, the trading of the sharpshooter with the anaconda, that was solid last night.
And when Punk won, I was just sitting there waiting for the one with hair to attack him. What's the name? Was Brock Sampson to attack him?
No.
And Dirk
Cash
Diggler.
Wheeler?
Yeah, him. Whatever.
Oh, wait, what?
But I kept waiting for him to sneak attack, and he didn't. So they were talking on Wrestle Talk a bit about how, like, that's just part of the slow eventual face turn for FTR. And I'm like, I don't know if I like FTR's faces, but we'll see, because I don't think I've ever actually seen it.
Well, maybe tuners, I think.
Huh?
They'll need to be tuners, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. But the only thing is like, when you have those two, I don't want to see them breaking up every faction, but like, that's what, obviously, I get it.
Yeah, but when they break up a faction, a new one grows in its place. So it's okay.
Like
right, but wait.
It's like when you chop down a tree in Minecraft, you just plant one, wait 10 minutes, and a new one's there. So, all you got to do is be a little patient.
Why did we go to Minecraft? Oh my god.
Well, because there aren't too many other ways I can make a tree grow quickly. So, so here were my takeaways from AEW last night. Jeff Hardy is still insane.
Yes.
More
okay. All right.
daily-
Big Sean's out.
Oh, okay.
I was going to take him out to potty.
Come on. Who, Big Sean?
What the fuck?
Come on. Come on. Blaze, come on.
Okay, we're gonna time out there because the other one's gonna start in like 2 minutes, and I still want to go smoke. So I'm gonna end it here, and we'll just pick up in a couple of minutes.
All right.
All right.
Bye-bye.
All right. So break time's over. Moving on to AEW and the Liverpool Fight Club and all that stuff. It's that first of all, all jokes aside. I can't wait to see. First of all, I told you they were going to add Wheeler Yuta. Not that that was some grand like divination on my part, but he's going to get added, and I'm really interested to see who they add next. Dante Martin,
Jeff Hardy,
Lee Moriarty,
Dante Martin,
if they bring
Marty Skrull.
But if they're gonna bring in,
work.
like you were talking about how if it would end up being them lining up against the Jericho Appreciation Society.
Eventually, yeah.
Right. So you have a tag team, which would be 2.0, and you have your tag team, which would be Daniels and Brian Danielson.
I don't think they're going to stay as the tag team. I think that's just where they are now.
But I was thinking about it the other day. Brian Cage just signed an extension. You want to bring him back and actually give him something worthwhile? Yeah, she went in by herself. Brian Cage lines up across from Jake Hager. Bring him back as the Machine, the badass from when Lucha Underground. You know what I mean? And then if you bring in Moriarty, fine. If you bring in, you know what I mean? Just somebody to line up, because I think with Garcia, I think Moriarty or Wheeler Yuta are going to be the best ones to match up against him. But you need someone to go up against Jericho ultimately.
Sunny Kiss.
No.
I'm just trying to think of people that I haven't seen on
Joey
TV in a while.
Janela actually re-signs and it's a work.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, as much respect to Joey Janela, not big enough in that company for a work like that to matter.
Big Swole comes back. That was all a work too.
That one had enough publicity to that
Not
it would
be a work.
Yeah. But if it was a work, it would actually mean something. But yeah, no, it's gonna be interesting to see who they end up going with and how it goes. I mean Regal is, again, he's a British treasure, I guess we'll go with that. And of course you can't go wrong with any of the three that are in there right now. Like, there's no way they screw this up. So it's going to be fun to see how it happens.
I have a feeling that they're going to branch out to a tag teams next, I think, because you could do Bryan versus Jericho, and then you could technically have Moxley be the one that goes against Hager. You have Yuta in there, and then you bring in a tag team to match 2.0. But I don't know who. Maybe, but
Varsity Blondes.
Briscoes. No,
I don't know if Varsity Blondes fit in that equation. All that
Destiny. There you go.
Did you watch it like were you watching and doing like when they were doing the commentary? Regal was really talking up Junior. And saying about how I've known his dad. I was great friends with his dad. He has a lot of potential, but he just doesn't have that. and da 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 da.
I mean, I have a feeling that they're going to have several teams or individuals attempt to get in and not make the cut. So him talking about any of them, even highly, isn't going to lead me necessarily to, because one thing I don't, I guess it could happen down the road, but I don't think they're quite done with trying to figure out what the deal is with Julia Hart and how she's just emo in the corner, you know. So I think that story has to play itself out. But I mean, if we were going to pick teams now, like firstly, Blondes, like talent wise, you know, are fine, but I don't think they're just going to drop their gimmick and be someone else, and I don't think they fit well in there with that gimmick. So, I mean, they could, but I don't know. I'm trying to think, because there was the exact opposite problem WWE has. They've got just so many teams, so it's kind of hard to, because you could go with the Martin brothers, or you could go, although, you know, we'll see. But I mean,
I don't really know if their style would fit though.
Yeah, exactly. But so I guess we'll just have to let it play out.
I mean, like stylely, I mean, you could do Red Dragon, but that makes no sense because of the Elite stuff.
Well,
unless if like
Cole sides with the Young Bucks,
yeah,
who know? You know, we'll see.
You could have a Liverpool Death Club go after the Elite next.
I mean, why not? So you got Adam Cole versus Jay Lethal. That was really good. I enjoyed that. That was fun. I mean, Adam Cole was going to win no matter what, because Adam Cole was on TV. So, you know, he's not going to lose, I would imagine, without shenanigans until after he faces Hangman again. So
Kenny. Kenny.
I'm pretty sure he's going to wrestle him. I think it's going to be Cole and Page again. Yeah, but I'm saying it's like, while they're building up towards the rematch with Hangman, you're not going to see Adam Cole lose again.
Right. Well, did you see Punk signaling for the title?
Yeah.
Did anybody else smile?
Nobody smiled, because nobody wants to see a 45-year-old.
I don't mind if he beats Sammy Guevara.
No.
Yeah, he didn't. Yeah, no, he's going to form a tag team. They're going after Jurassic Express.
Yeah.
It's Scorp. It's not Sammy anymore. It's Scorpio Sky.
That's what I'm thinking. Same. My bad. I forgot he actually did lose that.
No, you're just thinking about that picture they posted with the belt, and you just thought he was still champ.
Yeah. No, I thought he would never lose. I kind of forgot that was a good thing.
You know what? First of all, somebody brought up. I'm trying to remember. I think it was in a Twitter thread. Somebody mentioned that they put the belt on the wrong member of that group, and because they were referring to Ethan Page, and and that was my thought, was like, that would have been perfect for Ethan Page, but I think Scorpio Sky works a little bit better, because unfortunately I don't think he's due for a long reign, and I don't think they want to shortchange Ethan or Egon.
I'm more lucky gets him probably at some point.
I do love me some Egon.
Yeah. But yeah, it's like, as much as I like Scorpio Sky's great, but he's another one that he's not getting the reactions, unfortunately. Good old
They don't
Dano
get reactions unless Lambert's with them. As soon as Lambert's with them, then they get reactions.
Lambert's the one that's getting all that heat, because one, I think the crowd respects Scorpio Sky too much to hate him, which is another reason why I don't think they've given Ethan Page too much of a push, because Ethan Page is super popular. So, he's going to get cheered. Like, they're going to boo him when he does the your local sports team sucks type stuff on the mic. But once he starts wrestling, it's kind of the problem that they almost ran into with MJF, only MJF just decided to dial it up to 13, and so he gets heat. Like, everybody loves him in the ring, but he gets just the right amount of heat. Whereas like Ethan Page, you know, like, well, he wrestled on was it last week on Dynamite or was it on Rampage where he wrestled and he was getting a good reaction, and that's not what they want. You know, because men of the year are heels.
Yeah.
And they try really hard.
Yeah. But then they turn around, you watch his vlog, or even AEW had him and Scorpio Sky on as like co-hosts of their award show, and they were hilarious. But
Scorpio Sky was always my favorite part of SCU.
Yeah. I did love when they had Hook come up to give an award. He just wouldn't talk, and then he walks away, and Scorpio Sky's like, "I want to be his friend so bad."
They're hysterical. I personally, I like Ego. I think Ego doesn't get the credit he deserves for a lot. And in all honesty, he's just a really cool guy behind the scenes. Like, obviously, if you watch his vlog,
or Danhausen's vlog, or everybody has a vlog. Allie has a vlog. Sorry, the bunny has a vlog.
Right. But like, just the personality and this stuff like that, like, you know. And listen, I'm pretty sure he got tired of saying my name, because every week when they were doing, like, when they did Fat Food Fest, I was like, "But where's Darby?" And he's like, "I hate you and I hate him." And I was like, haha, got it. And then I'd comment something else about Darby Allin when he was in the middle of the Darby Allin feud. Or, "Why didn't you ask Sting to hang out?" And he would get all, like, he would fire shots back. But he's interacting with the fans. I think the fans, it's always been a thing, man. Especially now lately, the fans are dictating who's what. Even a tweener goes super nuclear heel when they do one thing, but then, you know, and those guys just, the fans love them because they're fun to watch. But Dan Lambert better scrub his mouth with like a whole bunch of toothbrushes and a lot of mouthwash.
You know, I've never been the like Sammy's biggest proponent. Like, you know, and I don't really hold anything against him. Like, I'm not like all mad about the Sasha Banks comment or anything like that, you know. But but you know, I kind of always found that he was just kind of meh, just kind of bland. But then, you know, as he kind of developed, what's today's date? 24th, right? Okay. As he developed his character more and more, and he started doing the stuff like during commercial breaks with the little Bob Dylan sign trick, you know, with the cue cards and whatnot, like that, like he kind of grew on me, you know, like I always knew he was good in the ring. And once he kind of got past like the Sasha Banks incident or the Matt Hardy incident, you know, and whatnot, you know, he's grown and gotten better. And I think the crowd has kind of got behind him and appreciated all the extra work he's put in to get better, to kind of,
right,
to use Vince's term, to grab that brass ring, you know.
Right. Well,
so,
and he got the breakout star of the year or whatever like that this year. On the AEW awards, he got breakout star of the year or whatever. He's like 3 years, blah blah blah. I mean, you can't deny it. The guy, he's got that magnetism like Hardy had when he was younger. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, you just, when he does the big spots, and every match, you know, there's going to be a big spot. Like the Spanish,
like him just like second move of the match, he just puts himself through a table. That was a good
I
match.
can't
Like
wait till like 2026 when he can wrestle Ali.
Yeah, or is it 20? It's not 2026. I hope.
It's ridiculously long. It's like
what's
WK
2K22.
I have no idea. I don't play as him. I'm surprised he's on the roster. He's in the 70s.
Yeah, I was gonna say, isn't Keith Lee still on the roster?
Yeah, he's an 80.
Is he an 80 as Keith Lee or Bearcat?
It wasn't Bearcat. It's actually Keith Lee.
All right, now that we're sidetracked, back on track.
I hope Kenny's ratings are better in the AEW game.
Marco's
Kenny will make himself a 40, but you can level him up.
Oh, yeah.
He's going to be the only character who's got like RPG elements.
There you go.
All in all, like last night, the other with touching on the show though, with the Lambert back and forth, I think you might see it where Lambert's too good of a heel, but I can see them kind of doing a slow turn where Sammy's now the annoying young punk kid heel. Is that possible?
I guess it would. I don't think in that feud, but I do think that if the crowd starts to sour on them, especially as a couple,
right,
then you might like Tony Khan's smart enough to kind of steer into that. The only reason they didn't turn Cody heel when he was getting those reactions was Cody. Yeah, Cody refused to turn heel
because of the charity and stuff.
Yeah. And which I understand his, like, it wasn't one of those, I don't want to be a bad guy. You know, there was a method to his madness. It
made sense.
It was very similar, although they've been saying this quite a bit, but it's very similar to John Cena never turning heel because of the Make-A-Wish and stuff like that. So
But could you imagine just John Cena every time like he did a Make-A-Wish, just attitude adjustment and a kid? That'd have been perfect.
Oh my God, I would have been a Make-A-Wish kid for that.
Right?
Yeah.
He would have had like double the amount that he did.
John, while we're at it, let me teach you one more move of doom.
So apparently Thunder Rosa's first challenger is going to be Nyla Rose, who I almost forgot was still there.
Easy first feud dub.
Yeah, and the other thing is, like, I didn't actually forget. She hasn't been on any of the main shows in a while, but she's been on Dark and whatnot, and that kind of goes back to the point of like they do kind of rotate through their talent, you know, and they have history, so it should be interesting.
Yeah, it could be good.
But yeah, I don't see her dropping the belt to Nyla Rose in her first.
She should hold it for a while.
It'll be legit Layla Hirsch.
I mean, it's not out of the realm of possibility the way they're pushing her, or
Tony Storm.
You know, it could be Paige Van Zandt at this point. Who knows? You know, because she'll you know, if you're going to give Thunder Rosa a longer reign, I'm not talking like Britt Baker, like, you know, or whatever, but if you're going to give her several months with the belt, you know, you're going to have her get through a few feuds to. I don't think they're going to do to her what they did with Hangman, which is, oh, you won the belt. Your first challenger's Bryan Danielson. And now it's like, here's another top guy. And then you're going to have CM Punk. And, let's throw a little MJF action. You know, it's going to be a little bit different. They're going to probably build hers up a little bit slower, like, you know, okay, so she gets past Nyla Rose, then she might have to beat Britt Baker and her. I'm going under the assumption that it's not going to be Britt Baker that gets the belt back. You know, just working on it. It could very well be, but I
know they don't do this with this title, but I would like to see it, like, because this would kind of make this title a secondary one. We all know it is, but I'd like to see Jade Cargill beat her and just drop the TBS. Like, keep her undefeated. She goes, beats her, and just drops it. That would diminish it a lot, but that would be kind of cool.
Or you could have her hold both and be like, all right, bitches, who wants them?
That's true. But I don't like when they unify without unifying belts, because then you'd have to you should wrestle 2 matches every pay-per-view, and that's a little...
Well, not necessarily, because she could drop it. You know, she could defend the title, the TBS title on Wednesday or whatever, and then defend the women's title at the pay-per-view. But I'm just saying, I don't think if they do that, she would hold them very long. But going under the assumption it's not going to be Britt Baker just for the sake of argument. So you have her go through Nyla Rose, then maybe you have her go through like Jamie Hayter, or you have her go through, like just somebody else until you get to whoever it is that's going to take the belt off of her, whether or not, after a few months, maybe it's Paige Van Zandt, maybe it's Layla Hirsch, maybe it's a recently heel turned Chris Statlander for all we know. I mean, who knows, but
Tony Storm, I'm telling you.
maybe, or it could even be Ruby Soho for all we know,
That's true. She does need to get something sometime soon.
Yeah. So
I'm
intrigued to see how Wardlow gets out of his contract and gets signed by Tony Khan.
Well, I was thinking about it because he said, Punk, we're running it back. Could it be Punk versus MJF for Wardlow's contract? Because Punk was talking him up remember that one where you can't use Sting or Darby. So then whoever came out with him, I don't even remember. Moxley.
That's a viable way to do it, but it just sounds so WWE.
Yeah, and that means that Punk has to win again.
Yeah, I don't know if I want to see Punk beat MJF again.
Yeah, but I mean, if they're gonna do it the way they're saying they're doing it, where with the promos, go home, you're gonna forget, everybody's gonna forget you because you're gonna be gone for so long. You're gonna be a nobody, just like you were when I brought you here.
I think he wins his contract back on his own. I don't think it's gonna be. I think he's gonna end up doing something that goads MJF into putting the contract on the line.
Possible.
Put it on a poll. Let Russo book it.
Everything went on a poll when Russo booked.
That's why I said that. He's the expert.
Yeah, he was an expert, all right.
The main event was it was Jericho and what?
Garcia.
Yeah, Danny Garcia. I almost said Ricky Starks for some reason. Against what was it, John Silver and the
Reynolds.
dude with the hair. Reynolds, yeah.
Right, because I forgot Jericho posted the Jericho Appreciation Group gets their first Dynamite main event win.
Yeah.
I forgot he posted that.
There's not a match that John Silver and Alex Reynolds aren't in that isn't a good match.
Oh, yeah.
Like John Silver deserves a TNT title. I'm just saying.
He just deserves a belt that says Budge on it.
I wish if Cole wins the title, that's what needs to happen. Silver needs to come down and just look at him and go, Budge. And let it be. Let it be. First main feud.
Oh, I'd love for them to have stolen the belt if he wins it and just like put the plate as Budge, like where the champ thing goes. That'd be great. That would actually be cool. But that would be too much putting the being elite on the TV, but
right. So, but here's the question. So obviously Jericho Appreciation Society, they're the first group to go against them is obviously going to be Eddie Kingston, Santana Ortiz. Who else? Because that's really who's going to go against them first. Is going to be Eddie and Santana and Ortiz.
Who else have they ticked off recently? I mean,
yeah, I was trying to think of who else they have. Who else they have a beef with? Besides the Pinnacle.
Santana, like he could side with that group. I know he said he was staying mutual and he just wanted them to like whatever. He was sick of it, but Guevara could come into that. But
yeah, but you still need someone else then too.
I don't know who else Jericho's ticked off.
Brian Cage. I just want Brian Cage back on TV. As long as
obviously,
as long as he gets rid of the drill claw as his finisher. If he does the Weapon X finisher, I'm fine. If he does that drill claw, it's a terrible move. It's been a terrible move ever since Scott Steiner did it 147.5% minus 33 years ago. You know what I mean? Like, it's the truth.
Oh, I know who could potentially end up in the Frankfurt Fight Academy.
Who's that?
Claudio Castagnoli.
No, but that would be that that would be who you should bring in for that feud. Have him line up across from Hager.
I mean, yeah, sure. Wyndham Rotunda.
That's the correct answer no matter what we talk about.
Who should provide catering? Well, Wyndham Rotunda.
Yeah.
Who is it that goes around and puts all the little cardboard boxes underneath the platform whenever Jeff Hardy jumps off and stuff? Wyndham Rotunda.
Yeah. You know, Wyndham's gonna go to Impact just to spite you because that way you can never watch him because wrestling doesn't happen on Thursdays.
That's all right. I'll catch clips on Instagram.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll bring his brother along. Think he'll bring his brother along?
Maybe. I mean, he hasn't been doing nothing.
Yes, he has. He's a real estate agent.
Yeah, that's what I mean.
Oh.
Yeah, in the biz. So, all right, we're gonna wrap it up there. Next week is gonna be WrestleMania, and more WrestleMania. So, hopefully, we can actually get the whole crew on.
And stand and deliver.
No, we're not even gonna address that. So
that's more no.
Yeah, but it's not part of the board, so we won't care. Who knows? Maybe we'll talk about it at the end, and then I'll edit it in the beginning of the video, and it will seem like we let it.
They just don't like me because they're doing it at noon, and I'm not going to be able to watch any of it.
Yeah.
I'll just go to the back and watch it. They can't.
I'll just furiously text you match results.
No, I'll have a plan. I'll just have like a portable charger. I'll have a plan over the speakers.
There you go. So, all right. So I've been Big Papa Grump. That's Junior. That's CJTruth, and we've been the Board of Doom. And yeah, episode was a little ramblier than usual because plans got derailed, so we kind of had to fluff for time. So this is going to be a heavily edited episode.
But the question is,
oh god,
where's this dead horse that we have to beat?
He went out to dinner. He went out to dinner with his girl.
Well, the dead horse that we have to beat is the fact that Jimmy and Jay Uso have the same rating in 2K.